Hello, friends. Welcome. Now, let us discuss something about mood disorders. Meaning come definition. You know, mood is a state of feeling experienced internally. It's obvious. If there is any feeling, that has to be internally, that has to be intrinsic. And the feeling that is experienced by the individual is likely to influences the behavioral expressions, how we behave in response to the stimuli. The external actions of the individual are influenced by the feeling of experiences that is technically known as the mood. And if there is a disorder in the feeling of experiences and consequent impact on the behavior, that process is known as the mood disorder. And interestingly, mood disorders are also known as the affective disorders. Individual expresses extreme of emotion or affect. What are the extreme of affect? Extreme of emotion? Either individual is in hyper elation state, specifically known as the mania, or just opposite to that, which is known as the depression. Now I use the word affective disorders. There's a word in English, affect. What does it mean? Affect is a kind of emotional experience where it is the expression of mood. The emotion the individual that experiences, if that emotion is expressed through the mood, that particular phenomena is known as the affect. Facial expressions are representative of our internal state of feeling, and that particular part, that is the facial expression, is known as the affect. Now, the components of mood. And mood has two components, that is mania and depression. There is a behavior continuum. At the one end of that behavior continuum, we'll find manic state, and the extreme other end, there's a depressive state. What is mania or the manic state? The hyper elation state, which is characterized by the intense and unrealistic feeling of excitement and euphoria. And just opposite to that is the depressive state. That is excessive and intense feeling of dejection and sadness, loneliness, etc., etc. Now let us focus on the historical aspect of mood. Kraepelin in 1899 introduced the term manic depressive psychosis. He described it as a series of attacks of elation and depression with period of relative normality in between. Means when an individual finds at the one of the extreme end of that behavior continuum, after that there is a period of normalcy. Normalcy means normalcy in the behavior. Individual is normal in terms of experiencing of the emotions and subsequent expression of these emotions. Depressive disorders are more common than manic. In mood disorders, the most common type of disorders are depressive one. The research states that the individual, when swings between the two extremes of continuum or remain fixated at one end of that behavior continuum for longer period of time, that is 4+ days for manic and 2 weeks for depressive episodes, is diagnosed as suffering from the mood disorders. Now let us compare the symptoms of manic and depressive state in terms of emotional aspect. So when individual is in a manic state, that time euphoric, elated mood, sociability, extreme impatience. But when the depressive state, the gloomy outlook, hopelessness, helplessness, social withdrawal, marked irritability. When we look in terms of the cognitive aspect, the individual suffering from the mania or in the manic state manifest short attention span, racing of thoughts and flight of ideas, impulsiveness, excessive talkativeness, positive self-image, tendency to blame others. When we look to the individual in the depressive state, we'll find that slow thought process, excessive and obsessive worry, exaggeration of problems, indecisiveness, negative self-image, tendency to blame self, a delusion of sin, guilt, poverty. And in context of the motor aspect of human body, the maniacs expresses the following symptoms. They are hyperactive, decreased need for the sleep, variable appetite, and highly increased sex drive. And when individual is in a depressive state, they will find hypoactivity, fatigue, insomnia, loss of appetite, and decreased sex drive. So there are few comparative symptoms between an individual who shows the manic state and individual who is in depressive state. Now, how we can diagnose an individual suffering from the mood disorders? Yes, there is a diagnostic criterion for designating an individual with mood disorders. ICD-11, that is International Classification of Diseases version 11, published by the World Health Organization, states that mood episodes that relates with the affective disorders have some kind of symptom, and if these symptoms are visible for 1 week and symptoms are a specific one, they are indicators of manic state, and if they are for 2 weeks and specific for the depression, they are the indicative of the depressive state. Euphoria, irritability, increased activity or hyperactive, and subjective experience of increased energy. So these symptoms comes under the domain of mania. In contrast to the mania, the depressive state is diagnosed when individual manifest symptoms such as social withdrawal, hypo or almost no activity, or an individual finds himself in a vegetative state. So there are few diagnostic criterion for the mood disorders. There is another manual popularly known as the DSM, and the latest version is the DSM-5. Under the headings of major depressive disorders, this manual states some symptoms that if individual found to suffer from these symptoms and at least the three symptoms should be available in that individual: increased talkativeness or pressured speech, flight of ideas or the loss of ideas, increased self-esteem or grandiosity or the suicide ideation, decreased need of sleep, distractibility, impulsive, reckless behavior, and increased sexual drive, sociability, or goal-directed activity. So out of these 7 symptoms, if individual experiences 3 or above, then that individual can be diagnosed with the mood disorders. The mood disorders, for the ease of understanding, treatment and management, are classified into few categories. So the first one is bipolar affective disorder. You know, the word bipolar means it has two poles, two extreme ends. At the one end there is a maniac state, and at the other end it is a depressive state. So the repeated episodes, that has to be minimum 2, of either mania or the hypomania only, or episodes of both depression and hypomania, must be available in an individual to classify that individual under the heading of the bipolar affective disorder. Then the depressive episode, that is one episode of mild or severe depression. Then the recurrent depressive disorder, repeated episodes of depression, and at least minimum 2. If an individual experiences 2 or more than 2 repeated episodes of depression, remember, for continuously 2 weeks, then that kind of mood disorder falls under the category of recurrent depressive disorder. Then persistent mood disorder. Persistent means continuous. Persistent, long-standing, fluctuating mood comes under this domain. Out of that, we had the further classification in the persistent mood disorder: dysthymia and cyclothymia. So what is dysthymia? So in dysthymia, the depressive symptoms are available, but the intensity of that symptoms are lower. Whereas in cyclothymia, patient may have persistent, long-standing, frequent mood swings of mild depression and mild cheerfulness. See, dysthymia, purely depression episodes with lower intensity symptoms. In the cyclothymia, both the extreme ends, that is manic and depression, but their intensity is also lower. Then other mood disorders, mixed affective and recurrent brief depressive disorders falls under this category. And finally, the 6th classification is the unspecified mood disorder. That is the individual who manifests the symptoms over and above the symptoms discussed in the previous 5 kinds of mood disorders. That is beyond these symptoms. Then how can we identify mood disorders? They have certain specific features and the characteristics. The first feature is the client experiences predominant emotional outburst. Predominant means in the behavior of the individual who is suffering from some kind of mood disorders, the emotional expression always dominates, and that expression is not normal. That is a kind of abnormal emotional expression. That's why the word outburst has been used here. Mood swings are common and intense and stays for longer period of time. Rapid shift in mood or brief periods of time. The gap between one kind of behavior when it is manic, and from the manic to depressive, or from the depressive to manic, the shift is very fast. Then in manic, the increased activity level may manifest at unusual hours of the day, are not expected to behave in the way that individual behave, and that behavior coincides with the symptoms of mania, and these symptoms are intense and at the inappropriate hours of the day. Inflated self-esteem, grandiosity, and self-confidence to delusional proportions means the grandiosity or the self-esteem has raised to a level where it can be safely said that it is a kind of delusion. Next, in manics, speech is likely to be rapid, pressured, loud, and difficult to interrupt. Thoughts race at a rate faster than they can be expressed through speech. Impairment in social or occupational functioning. Here, the individual finds it difficult to function normally, properly, or optimally in the social situations or in the professional settings, where productivity, specifically in professional settings, goes down. Do not perceive that they are ill and require treatment. This is a common phenomena found with the all patients who are suffering from some kind of mental disorders. At the first instance, they do not consider it as an illness. And once they do not understand that it's an illness, they feel that they doesn't need any kind of a treatment. Now, what are the behavioral consequences? As far as manic individual is concerned, they express a particular kind of behavior. Some of the outcomes or the consequences of the manic type of individuals are they engage in spending spree, give away their possessions, reckless driving, foolish business investments, and sexual promiscuity that is unusual for the individual. Means the individual who is not expected to do that kind of activity which he is doing right now. Now let us discuss some depressive state consequences. That is the behavioral. Behavioral means which can be observed by the other individuals. Minimize movements, that is hypoactivity. Careless towards interpersonal relations. Who comes at the home and who goes out of the home, they are not worried about that. Confined to self. They experience the digestive difficulties. Hallucinatory behavioral manifestation. Refuses to speak or eat. Remains in a vegetative state and loves to confine himself, leads to the immobility. These are some behavioral consequences of a depressive state. Why these mood disorders occur? What are the causes behind these mental problems? Now let us study some biological factors, genetic factors. That is the gift from the parents, maybe from the grandparents. Then neurophysiological factors and biochemical factors. These are some causes that leads to the mood disorders, specifically biological causes. Apart from that, there are psychological factors too that contribute in mood disorders. Predisposing family and personality factors means individual have such kind of personality that is prone to mood disorders. Stress, the silent killer, that is compromising the mental health of a large number of people. And interestingly, lots of people feel and have belief system that stress cannot come to them, which is a kind of cognitive fallacy. Then there are other psychological factors, that is feeling of helplessness and loss of hope. Finally, extreme defenses. If individual engages in defending himself to the level of extremeness, that also can lead to the development of the mood disorders. Yes, you have read right. Not only the biological factors and psychological factors can contribute in mood disorders, even socio-cultural factors also, they contribute in the development of the mood disorders. For example, Sethi et al. In 1973, in their study, they suggested that in India, the depression among urban and the rural population was in the ratio of 4:1. Very disturbing trend. And that was way back in 1973. Means the urban people are more prone to depression than the rural people. That's a kind of socio-cultural factors. Then the modern technology, the social networking sites, which has always feed you with a large number of information, changing social values and modern style of living, particularly the increasing physical distances and decreasing the virtual distances. So these are some factors that not only contribute in generating the mood disorders, they also enhance the intensity of the not only mood disorders, other kind of disorders too. Now we discussed so many things: definition, meaning, introductory part, the behavioral consequences, the difference between the symptoms, the factors responsible. Then what is the treatment for the mood disorders? Various types of protocols are available to manage and treat mood disorders. The pharmacological treatment, psychotherapy, psychoeducation, counseling techniques, interpersonal and social rhythm therapy for bipolar disorders, cognitive behavior therapy for depression, physical exercise for the depression, and sometimes yoga, sometimes the relaxation techniques, and finally the mixture of some of these selected techniques is also found to be important in management of the mood disorders. Dear friends, these are my references. If you want to know more about the mood disorders, kindly refer them. By the way, if you like the presentation style and the contents of this video, tell to others. But if you have any question, any query, or any critical comment, just drop a comment in my comment box, or you can email me at vermasujit@yahoo.com. And remember to watch my next video, that is unipolar mood disorder, symptoms and causes. Thanks for watching.